Is there two divas here? I think there's only this one. This is the last one. No, there's one more. Nope, it's a monkey man. I want to know why it is that cherubs are like two-headed animal guys instead of little babies. If I was the head dev, what would I do with Vile Clutch? Other than just removing it? Well, I think anybody with half a functioning brain is fully aware that Vile Clutch is broken as hell. And to fix the spell, you know, rather than just lazily taking it out of the game, which I don't actually think is a good solution, because it is a cool theme. Hey, Waifu Gate, what's up? So like if I wanted to fix Vile Clutch, if I wanted to make it a balanced spell, you know, you have to think about the fact, like, why is Vile Clutch so good? And no, a cool guy, I wouldn't go in that direction, because then you basically just got sort of a reverse Dispel Undead almost. I think we got to examine, like, what is it that makes Vile Clutch so good? And I think the thing that makes Vile Clutch so good is the fact that it just does so much shit. Like, it does damage, it does it does crowd control. It's AoE, so it's not just crowd control, it's like super crowd control. You know, it's one of the few spells in the game that can genuinely compete with summons for the amount of mana that you put in versus the amount of damage you get out. So it's like, on top of being great damage, well, at least decent damage, crowd control, on top of those two things, it's also like really, really, really mana efficient, okay? And like in terms of crowd control, like you also have to kind of pay attention to the fact that in Dungeon Crawl there's different kinds of crowd control. There's crowd control that sort of lets you escape. There's crowd control that lets you kill things faster. It's more like a debuff, which is also, by the way, something that BVC does. So long story short is it's the everything spell. It just does too much stuff. So I believe if I was going to balance the spell, what I would do is I would just take away some of the stuff that it does. BVC could honestly be two entirely different spells. Yeah, it could, Rogue shenanigans, but it's necromancy. Yeah, Waifu Gate, the thing about the spell school is, like, I think that with those particular spell schools are already incredibly strong, and the fact that it's necromancy, it basically, essentially it's like, mechanically speaking, it's a conjuration spell. Maybe like conjuration hexes is where it actually fits. So it's just like a buff to a spell school that didn't need a buff as well. Yes, Force Lance sucks. Yeah, Necro probably is the strongest spell school, except for maybe summonings. But Necro does summonings on top of everything else it does. But anyway, long story short, if I was going to fix stat form, I would take away some of the stuff it does. I think my instinct, and I haven't put too much thought into, you know, viable changes to BVC. I know it's broken, but I haven't put a ton of thought into how to fix it. But my instinct has always been to make it literally do no damage, because I've always said I would use stat form on almost any character if it did 0 damage. That's how good that spell is, because it still nerfs. It nerfs the enemy EV, I believe it nerfs the enemy SH. It's like a force multiplier for various other summons, which Necro gets anyway. You know, it's like a one-stop shop kind of spell that just owns, man. Like, there's no other way to say it. It's just too good. So firstly, I would take away the damage, and I would see how that plays out. But with that said, I don't even know that removing the damage from the spell would make it not broken. That's how good BVC is in my mind. I'd actually like to hear your thoughts on that, doesn't he? Taking away the range. It's already got kind of nerfed range. It's not full line of sight. Like, let's see. It goes up to here, so you can hit stuff next to the edge of line of sight, but not at the actual edge of line of sight. I mean, I guess you could, I don't know, like it wouldn't stop being so hilariously good, though, in certain situations. Without the damage, you'd be pretty weak. Self-target or have one range. I mean, that would definitely nerf it, but probably not as much as you think. I would actually buff Irradiate, by the way. Um, if I was the head dev of the game, I would make Irradiate do 2 tiles instead of one, so it's like a massive explosion, and I would make that gated based on your spell power. So if you really if you've really got the testicular fortitude to train up transmutations and conjuration at the same time, I think that if you get high enough spell power, you should just get this like mega blast of Irradiate damage. It is already ridiculously strong, but it goes really underused, I think. And like, you can only cast it so many times is the thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think that fixing BVC, it's like the whole concept of the spell is just so good that you would any potential solution would have to be play tested a lot. That's a fair point, doesn't he? I would like to see people using Irradiate more often, is all. I can definitely see the whole point though. But on the other hand, if you're a transmuter type guy, why would you cast Irradiate and not just punch things in the face, you know? I guess you could use it to cause the AC debuff, you know? That's another way you could, speaking of spell schools, that's another way you could balance BVC a little more. You could give it different spell schools. Because all things considered, I'm not even sure if, thematically, it makes sense, okay, fine. But mechanically speaking, yeah, I would make it a 3-school spell. That would be, that would go a long way by itself to balance it, because you'll notice that nobody likes to take 3-school spells, and with good reason. It's just this massive investment of experience. And the real problem is that, like, I think that if a spell is 3 schools, there should be some reason for it. It should be a really strong spell. Mephitic Cloud is a great example of a well-designed spell that's 3 schools because, it's worth the 3 schools. That's an outrageously good good spell, Whereas like Bolt of Magma is a great example of a poorly designed 3-school spell. No one in Null shakes its head. Okay, Null is the exception to the rule. If you're gonna use a Null, then 3-school spells are amazing, and Bolt of Magma is actually pretty good on a Null. But there's almost no reason, like Bolt of Magma is something you use when you don't have any other good options unless you're a Null. And the same thing is true for Freezing Cloud that you guys are talking about. Freezing Cloud just it's a bad spell. It used to be, there were some narrow situations where you might want to use it back in the day, when you could close a door on guys and then watch them, listen to them freeze to death from the other side. But now that you can't do that, I just can't think of a good reason why you would want to use Freezing Cloud unless you're playing a super awkward character that just happened to find a bunch of weird stuff. Anyway, check this out. I'm going to make this Seraph kill himself. So he has Injury Bond. I'm going to BVC all this stuff, and he's going to suck up the damage from every single one, and he's just going to die. It's going to be hilarious. If he chooses to cast it. Or I'm just going to paralyze him and wreck him that way. Did he die? He died, right? You kill the Seraph. Yep. Beautiful. So like he did share pain on himself for me. But yeah, the whole Freezing Cloud thing, like, it's a shame because it's a genuinely fun spell to use and I want to like it, but it's just bad is the thing. It's just not worth the 3 schools. You could make it level 5 and probably not mess up the balance at all. Well, I mean, I think it is. You're probably going a little far to say it's terrible. I think I'd agree with you on that, but I don't think it's a good spell. You know, um, I think it's in a game where there's so many very, very, very good options for you to choose from. Freezing Cloud is a spell that just doesn't. It doesn't have much of a place. You know what I mean? Even on Knolls, I think I'd rather be using something else, if I'm being honest. It's strong on Oni. Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if Oni made it into the game, along with the Demigod rework? Oni is a sort of demonic ogre species that is in one of the forks. I think Doesn't he knows a lot more about it. The idea is that you literally only have to train spellcasting, right? Such a cool idea. Yeah, yeah, like you just get spells per level and it's random, right? Really, really cool thematic and interesting idea that will never see the light of day in mainline crawl. I'm guessing that you can't worship Sifmuna or Vehumet to get more spells on the Oni. No, they don't give you more spells. Yeah, it might be worth it just for the... Well, not with Vehumet really, but with Sifmuna. Having infinite mana is nice. This is annoying. 2 Devas. I guess we'll... do this. Hey, Wes, what's up? I'm still hoping somebody... unless my alerts are broken, I hope that somebody follows during this stream so I could show the people that haven't seen them. Have I been to Zig already on this char? Nope. Also, hello Levidoc, welcome to the stream. Stat form dropped in lair for Waifu Gate, awesome. That's really cool. When you find statue form on a character that's capable of making good use of it early enough, it's basically like the game just telling you, here you go, here's your path to victory. Alright, I'm stepping up to this not in stat form on purpose. I turned into stat form only once I was next to it, so that he didn't have as much time to smite me. I think Aspire here. Oh, crap. We'll just BBC this stuff. Alright, alright. Grand finale. Boom, gone, erased. To be honest, I should probably be doing this in dragon form. More hit points, so more ability to survive smites. Faster movement is the big thing. Check this out. BVC dragon form lets you just sort of chomp things to death in 2 seconds. Of course, I'm taking more damage. I going to get more Usk piety with dragon form? Yes, I am. I'm a little sad that we haven't managed to find a an Amulet of Faith just yet. Actually, yeah, we did. I guess we had an Amulet of Faith on Vaults 5. I may go grab that and wear that over the +5 reflection. As much as it's nice to have five more shields, I mean, Faith is just so outrageously cool. But yeah, Waifu Gate, you should definitely try Usk, especially with an Amulet of Faith. Yeah, doesn't he? I understand that the actual Bible depiction of the cherubim is as described, but I think it would be funnier if it was a little baby with wings that you have to fight. Is that bad of me? I want the player to feel bad as he goes through Holy Pan. All right, we got a Pearl Dragon here. Stick up D missile. Oh my god. The baby angel is a puto? A putto? Are we cursing in Spanish, or do I just not know what that word means? All right, we're gonna grand finale this dude. Boom, goodbye. Where's Anjani for that dragon 1v1 action? Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was only 1T, but you're saying it's Italian, so I'll take your word for it. Oh, does it? Okay, I think we fully explored this place except for the dragon in the southeast. Also, I guess there's some area here. How about we breathe fire on these dudes? All right. There were chubby babies to fight in this game? Really? What enemy was that? Mountain dwarves. See, I thought we were just talking about the devs. Oh. This mark is okay. Since we cleared most of the floor. 17% grand finale, why don't we just do it? It fails, do it again, it actually works. Let's put regen back on. Let's, wow, that didn't work out how I wanted it to. Put a spire there. We'll do a Malign Gateway, except we won't because this is too crowded. Mana Viper. Mana Viper. PVC this. Taking a lot of damage. PVC. Acid. Actually, I didn't mean to do that way. Let's Ice Blast. I may end up having to heal wounds here. Okay, got them both with Ice Blast. Put regen back on. Suddenly I care about that mark. Whoa, okay, let's step up. Let's heal wounds. Oh my, he's mited. And we're not in stat form, so our defenses actually suck. I think I'm gonna blink. Hopefully there's not more stuff down here, and there is. Sort of a problem. Not too bad, but I don't want to be in this situation, so sticks to snakes, not really doing what I wanted to do. How many snakes did I get? Did I only get 2 snakes? You create 2 snakes with 18 T-moots. Beautiful. Make a sack. Make more snakes. Okay, this is okay. Let's take a step. Let's take a step. Is that exactly lethal? We're not dying, we're just trying to fight things in dragon form, and it's a real bad idea. Okay, we're gonna breathe fire on this stuff. Oh right, angels can fly. How about that? Make a box beast. We're just living excitedly. Let's swing on this dude. Swing on this dude again. It's just that I got marked and I had to sustain through way more combat than I would have liked. We'll just keep ice blasting. Okay, this should be fine. Can I please have a moment? All right. Part of that is because I fought it in dragon form instead of stat form. It's Pearl Dragon scales, by the way, which might genuinely be worth using, but not really because we're using stat form. Hey, Crazer. Yeah, it was a little scary, but not as bad as it looked. Also, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate that. Bunch of people just rolled in, but it doesn't say that I got hosted by anyone, so I don't know if someone just stopped streaming Dungeon Crawl or something. Alright, well that was Holy Pan. Nothing really to speak of in terms of loot. Let's well, I'd like to grab this whip and identify it. These guys are not making it easy for me. It's easy to forget that pan stuff spawns endlessly. So I guess like if we really wanted to, we could farm this for experience, but really way more concerned with getting necromutation. Zen not even guarding the holy secret of necromutation. What a loser. That would be kind of a cool theme, right? Like if you had to fight your way through Holy Pan to get to the Necronomicon. which is being held under lock and key by like holy warriors because it can't be destroyed for some reason. Alright, I was going to leave. I don't remember exactly why I was going to leave, but I was going to leave and I was going to pick up something. Be nice if I could remember what. Maybe I was going to amnesia something? There's definitely a free exit here. I guess there's nothing more to pick up here. So we'll go. Actually, there is a demonic prison. It's more of a mage prison, though, like an Azkaban type place, complete with soul eaters. "26 AC and 27 EV feels birthday man." Are you stat forming? I guess you are. I assume it's the same character. Alright, so hold on. Let's pop on Pearl Dragon Scales. Remember, we're going to end up in Lich form, right? So ideally, we end up with some kind of armor that we can still cast stuff in. Hey, see you later, Flag Killer. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for the view. I do appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, like these Pearl Dragon Scales, we could fully enchant those pretty easily, right? Can be maximally enchanted to +10. Do we have 10? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we have like an amazing amount of enchant armor. So we could have +10 Pearl Dragon Scales on right now. So that's good to know for the Zig, although I would prefer to somehow be able to wear like OCPA at the same time. But we would have to actually find OCPA for that to be a thing that we do. Anyway, do we have anything to amnesia off? Not really. I'm using all of this except for kind of Mana Viper. Well, let's get Shatter. And let's go to Zot 2. Let's do some Galaxy Brain tactics here. We're going to Brilliance. Shatter goes to 32%. That's fine with me. Let's cast Dungeon Rumbles. Dungeon Rumbles. Okay, we've opened this up, but we get to fight it on our terms and not theirs. You know what? I'm just going to go up. I don't have to fight all that crap at the same time. Yeah, he did something clever with Brilliance. I forget what. I was actually watching when he did it. Oh, quaffing to apport the orb, yeah. I was curious what exactly the purpose of that was. Because he could have still failed is the thing, and alerted the Panlords. And then had to walk for it anyway. How's CSDC going for me? Well, I lost my Ogre Wizard. I'm probably not going to win, but I might, I guess. I guess it's possible. I got 9 points instead of the max of 10 because I died. I would have had something like 16 points if my plans had come through for me, but or maybe 19. Because I was doing a Zig. Basically, I was showboating for the crowd. Somebody wanted me. It was West who wanted me to not to be confused with you, but another person named West with a T asked me to go ahead and do Zig, and he had just subscribed to me. So what am I going to do? Say no? So I tried to push it out, but didn't quite work out, unfortunately. Well, I know you are, but I thought you also go by West without the T. I don't think he does. Have I been confused about this whole time? Because that's going to make me feel like an asshole. Okay, do we want to wear... Let's see. I think we still want the RF plus ring. You're used to people pronouncing it without the T, but there's a T there for sure. All right, I'll say that from now on then. Sorry I was getting that wrong. Yeah, I would agree, Rogue Shenanigans, that 5 weeks is a little bit too short. Definitely contributed to me trying to rush through and getting a Zig done with that Ogre, although there's, you know, optimally speaking, there was like no reason for me to try to do it so fast. Like the thing is, I had my no lair run in the bag. I should have just taken the win, and then done the, you know, the other stuff, like the Zig later. Okay, we got a dig wand with way more charges than we had before. Now we just teleport out, and we just ignore this really dumb vault for the rest of the game. Alright, so we got 5 runes. No, West, it was a different West. It was SG West. You goaded me into doing Desolation, but I had the mental fortitude not to stick around in there. Yeah, losing the no lair bonus was painful, cool guy. That really hurt my heart, like, because now I'm either going to have to do that again on a character where it doesn't make as much sense, or forego the bonus entirely. Like, I'm not going to say it's impossible for me to win the tournament at this point, but I think, does Yermak have like 100% points so far? Because he's going to have to screw up something bad, something fierce, if I want a chance of doing this. And if I do pull ahead, it's not going to happen this week, but maybe the one after that. I guess we'll find out. But I'm going to have to go balls to the wall and really do some risky stuff if I wanna pull back up. And this is funny because technically I'm only down 1 point, right, from what's technically possible. But he got ascetic. Oh man, yeah. I'm hoping that I can get ascetic, but I literally cannot. If Yermak doesn't screw up, and he keeps getting one-time bonuses, then I literally can't overcome him. So we'll see. All right, what do we want to do? Where do we want to go? Thank you, West, by the way. I hope you mean that. It would be neat if you meant that literally. There needs to be like an underground Bitcoin betting pool for Dungeon Crawl. We have a +2 invocations or evocations apt. Why don't we take that to 20 real fast? Although I should probably rush out Tornado. Eh, this is fine. You know, West, actually you could. There's a site that I use called Betmoose, and you should go to my site. If you're going to make an account there, you gotta use my referral link. But there's a site I use called Betmoose, and it's awesome because you can make a bet on. You can actually create a bet on literally anything, as long as it's verifiable and not something people could just impact. So right now, people could very easily be betting cryptocurrency on who's going to win the CSDC tournament. It would be super simple too, super cool. I actually used that site to bet on the presidential election in 2016. I put some Bitcoin on Trump becoming president, and people were giving him like at various points. People were giving Trump like 1 to 10 odds, like they were that confident he wasn't gonna win. So that was a fun time. That was a satisfying, you know, sort of win for me. And all it really took was sort of an awareness of how math works and how polls how polls are supposed to work and how the media wasn't really reporting things accurately. I didn't say I was supporting Trump. I was betting on Trump becoming president. Um, I I try to avoid talking about politics outside of my devotion to to free speech and whatnot. But like with regards to Trump becoming president, I knew it was a hell of a lot more likely than the media was letting on. That's all. And so I put a bet on that happening. You know, which is not to say that. I mean, that has nothing to do with my politics as to what I think about Trump as a person or as a politician. It's just the fact that I knew that it wasn't a 1 in 10 chance of him taking the presidency. Let me put it that way. It's just a kind of a simple matter of math, you know. People were so blindsided by that election, and it was because the media didn't report it properly, you know. All right, we now have Arc Magi available, and I think that that's better than 4int, so let's do that. Well, rogue shenanigans, that is the thing that happens, but I think it also has to do with the fact that, you know, when it's very easy to control what people think if you're able to, if you're the one that controls the media, you know, if every single major media outlet is reporting that Trump basically didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of becoming president, people are going to believe that. You know, your average person especially is going to believe that, or even smart people are going to believe it. Um, and if you're just basically misreporting how the polls, you know, if the polls are being done incorrectly, for example, that's one thing. But then if the media is basically, you know, all on the Trump can't become president train, there's just, you know, I can't even blame people for having the wrong idea that it was just impossible. But a lot of people lost a lot of money betting on that election the other way. It's kind of mind-blowing almost. Let's yeah. Especially after, American politics, I find, has a very sort of pendulum-like nature where it swings back and forth. And we had just gotten done with 8 years of, a leftist president. I mean, I don't think it's controversial to say that Obama was pretty far left. So it's like that to me meant that it was even, just from like a simple common sense kind of way of thinking, it seemed pretty likely that some kind of tremendous backlash to the previous 8 years would happen, because that's just how American politics works, man. Oh, are you really not going to let me line pass? Check this out. You can't line pass through an invisible thing. That's crazy. Doesn't he? Are you still in my chat? Because I think that's a bug. That's got to be. I mean, I guess you could say it's not one, but look at this. Look at this, doesn't he? I can't do this. That's not a bug? I may have to disagree. I mean, it may be intended, but I don't think that's how it should work. West says every single president suffers from some degree of character assassination in the media. Okay, I'd agree with that. And when the mainstream media doesn't manage, the underground and internet will pick up the slack. Sure, I mean, Hillary suffered the slings and arrows of the media too, but I mean, I don't think that. I don't know. I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who thinks that as a general rule the media is a big fan of Trump. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like they had definitely picked a side, and I'm not talking about things like Fox News, although to some degree I am, because like they have plenty of anti-Trump pundits on their network as well. But like when's the last time you saw a pro-Trump pundit on something like CNN or NBC? No, West, I do not think Trump is literally a Nazi, and I also do not think Hillary is literally a reptile. My mom believes that Hillary Clinton literally eats babies. I'm not in that camp. You know, say what you will about various candidates and what I think of them. That's something I don't believe. Um, and I do think that politics in this country have become a lot more divisive to the point where, you know, people will just say anything about the other side. You know, just munching on them babies. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing is like I'm actually really disgusted both with the left and the right in my country because it's just you can't have a conversation anymore, man. You oh hey Totary, what's up? That's entirely accurate. I know my people, but I mean that's the thing though. Is like how do you have a conversation with anybody if you're in the process of like calling your opponent a Nazi or you know whatever like a demon or whatever it is, whatever direction you want to go. Um, you know, I've been called like all kinds of really nasty things. Like I've been literally called a Nazi. I've been called you know a bunch of stuff that I probably shouldn't even say on Twitch. Um, straight up because I am really big into freedom of speech and Bitcoin. You know, and it's insane. And when I say it's insane, I mean that literally. Like I feel like you almost have to be crazy to say things like that. But then again, you don't, because your average person can get riled up and turned into this sort of, I guess you would almost call it like a religious zealot, um, where it's like you've got these opinions and you hold them so strongly that anybody who disagrees with you becomes the goddamn devil. Um, and it's like, I mean, yes, centrist is. It's not even about being a centrist though. Like it's about having like basic respect for the people on the other side, you know. And I think that, and again, I'm not blaming leftists. I'm not blaming right-leaning people. I'm not talking about any particular side, any particular viewpoint, because I think that almost everybody, especially in the modern era, is extremely guilty of doing this to the people they disagree with. And I think it's to some degree it's human nature to do that. To some degree, it's human nature to say everybody on my team is good, everybody on the enemy team is like an asshole, and not just like the worst asshole you could imagine. Um, and it's like to some degree that's just how we evolved because we're a species that as a whole spent a lot of time in tribal warfare with other tribes, you know. And but the things like the media and modern politics and whatnot. As you say, West, it does lack nuance. You know, certainly isn't making that whole situation any better. The height of sophistication. This is no plebes allowed. No plebs allowed. Dungeon crawl. Intellectual Mensa members only chat. It's, if your IQ isn't at least 140, please leave. Actually, please don't. I need the viewers. I mean, yeah, I'm not like saying I'm better than anybody or anybody in this chat is like better than anybody. It's just I just feel like people could be more civil with each other. You know, I write about this kind of thing a lot on my website on rosecrypto.com, where it's just like there comes a time when discourse becomes impossible. When you see everybody on the other side as just sort of this irredeemable dickhead, and you make zero effort to see where they're coming from. Like, what's the point of even talking at that point? How do you have a country at that point, even if half the people utterly despise the other half of the people? You know, you like that plug, Totary? I tried to be like really, you know, low key about it. just kind of slip it in there to where nobody would notice. But you called me out, so I failed. Bro, look at this greatsword. Hold on, there was a, I'll just go to the log. +8 greatsword Demon Bane. Anti-magic, Arlec, MR+, Strength +4, Stealth+. That's outrageous, dude. +8 greatsword, that would be a really good endgame weapon, and a Balrog is holding it, which seems kind of wrong since it's Demon Bane. I'm unhappy about this thematic happening. Modern American politics is news networks blackmailing private citizens. Yeah, are you talking about the dude who made the Trump CNN wrestling meme, and then CNN was like, "Oh, we know who he is, and depending on his behavior, we might publish his name." And it was one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen. You know, literally blackmail. Yeah, for sure. Um, and that's why I have pretty much zero respect for modern media. Like if you're a journalist, um, I've started to regard American media as kind of a joke profession. And I can't. I mean, not every single one of them, but like just as a group, it's just so hard for me to take seriously. You know, you could tell me that you work at McDonald's, and I would have infinitely more respect for you, because you would at least be providing a useful service to society. Um, you know, the old. It's like there's very few things that I respect less than one of these muckrakers. You know, that just spends their time writing these articles that are basically designed to push a particular political viewpoint, or destroy some private citizen's life over, whatever. The one I saw recently was BuzzFeed writing about like this 14-year-old girl and trying to destroy her, and it's just like it's just mind blowing. Like how much of this stuff are we going to put up with? You know, stirring the pot and dividing the plebs. Yeah, I mean that's the job though, I guess. And it's just my question is, for me, I've always wanted to do things with my time that not just make money but also are somehow generative. I say as I Twitch stream a video game, but like at least when I do this, I can hang out with people, and people that I'm talking to here hopefully are getting something out of it, some kind of entertainment. Um, and even though it's just a video game, I do feel like I'm generating something when I stream. Um, creating content, at least making the world slightly better insofar as people enjoy it. But like, what does like a BuzzFeed journalist, what does that person generate? What do they create? What do they do for the world? Anything? Anything positive? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh no, I'm losing viewers. People are leaving because they don't want to hear me rant about BuzzFeed. All right, let's be a little more careful. We've got Cerebov here, and I'm just walking around in stat form like I want to die to Iron Shot plus Firestorm. So let's Brilliance real quick. Let's Tornado. Iron Shot would be pretty unfortunate here if he decided to do it a bunch. I don't want to BVC him because we got Tornado up now. I'll just swing on this dude because I still have, even though I'm slow, it's point, or well, not slow, but statue form, my attack speed's still 0.9. Tornado pulled him away a little bit. All right, punch, punch. Let's BVC him. That was a little risky. All right, this is incredibly annoying because of this stupid Hellion. Let's Holy Word. Okay, thank you. Finally, I get my Paralyze. That took way longer than it probably should have. Wow, he paralyzed and then he paralyzed again. I'm going to swing on the Hellion, I think. Just in case everything wakes up. Look at this Paralyze not letting me finish this thing. Come on. Okay, another Paralyze. I could have, you know what, I could have Grand Finale'd and I just didn't, but that's okay. We took out the threat. Manual Short Blades, I don't care about that. Distressingly Furry Cloak. It's got minus Tela on it. But weirdly enough, it's a strict upgrade to my existing +2 MR plus cloak, except for the minus Tela. And you might be thinking, why the hell am I even considering using it? And the reason is that I could just go Dragon Form and then teleport or blink away as I like. That adds one more turn to my get out of jail free card though. so it's a little bit questionable. I don't know, man. I don't know. That would solve a lot of problems, though. I feel like I'm just gonna take it with me. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I'm gonna do Ziggs, right? Having minus Tela in a Zig doesn't seem like a lot of fun because being able to blink away is really important, and I don't want to have to switch into freaking dragon form to do it. We'll just take this thing with us, and we'll delay the decision until later. The thing is, if I pop that thing on, that means we can get rid of this bad boy here, Moral Flaws, and stick +8 AC on. Also, I just remembered what I was going to do, what I forgot to do when I left Holy Pan. I was going to switch Reflection for Faith. Whoops. Hey, let's go ahead and acquire. We'll acquire Book. And we only get Excruciating Wounds. No Necromutation. All right. Yeah, I'm really torn about this cloak. Sort of a weird decision to make. Inducting me into Dota. Levidoc, is this a joke? Is this a meme, or do you I can't tell if you're joking or not. Usk works really weirdly compared to other gods. It resets to 1 star every time you're out of combat for a while, and then when you punch things, it very quickly rockets back up. So it's really an interesting take on how Piety works. Nothing else works quite like it. And if you have Faith, it rockets up even higher, or even faster rather. And the way that you increase your Piety is actually by punching things, not by killing them. So he's the god of ecstatic dance, right? So the theme is that you're kind of like powering up as you go. It's a pretty cool god. Oh, okay. No, I just wasn't sure if you were joking or not. If you haven't played him before, super recommend. Like it is a lot of fun. Like just a ton of fun. I think you'd probably enjoy it. I think most people would enjoy it. I need to drop more stuff. What do I want to drop? Waifu Gate. I'd actually do Elf before Depths on most characters. Hey, Asimov, what's up? Just trying to do some inventory management here. I guess I'm going to drop Paralysis. It's kind of goofy, but... Controlled Blink. Alright. Sandblast. Minor Magic doesn't have any spells for me. Geomancy, no new spells. Possible Stat Stick. Nope. Yeah, Waifu Gate, just be careful of anything that can do a lot of damage to you, especially like Hellfire. Because when you're moving around and you're in stat form, remember that you're slow. So it can be a very bad time for you. So there's a robe here. There's a robe here with int +9, and I think that might actually be better than having Archmagi. Believe it or not. I'm going to assume that maybe it is. I don't know. I guess it depends on how much int I already have. Archmagi is basically int times 1.5. So I guess that's it's more than 9. Alright, we won't wear the +9 int robe then. Ricardo Milo's Vault in DCSS. You know, if somebody subs to me, he's gonna he'll show up unless my alerts are broken. And a song will play. if you like Ricardo. All right. I think. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say there's sometimes there's like a second fortress with just some loot in it, but this is not one of those floors. I can't leave through this floor. There's no abyss exit. There's no regular exit. I'd really like to swap on this faith amulet. Yeah, we immediately got to Glork's Vlock. All right. Wait, actually I should check on something. It says I have 5 pips of MR. That can't be right. Easy Panlord, Glork's Vlock can't do any damage. That's what I always think, especially in stat form, but I don't know, man. He's kind of memed me the last few times that I've fought him. Ancient Liches have 1% chance to confuse and whatnot. Dang it. Need more MR. Dude, I have never taken Glork's Vlock seriously. Like, I thought he was the joke Panlord until just the last few times I've done him, and he's given me a run for my money, you know?
Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.